In Nigeria, you can meet someone today and tomorrow you guys are already close, like very close. In Ghana, it takes time, real time. But when you enter, you're in for good. So which one do you prefer? You heard me.
So what was beautiful here was dangerous there. Now, this is an alarming story.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I usually see people everywhere, social media and all that, saying, oh, Ugandans, South Africans, like calling us when, they're talking about Big Nyash. But guys, if you leave out Ghana, then the list is incomplete.
In Atlanta and there, kind of back and forth, but my formative years were here.
What's some of the misconceptions? I haven't been to Africa yet, but
why?
And because
I took what Ghana taught me to Canada, and I got beaten by my own Canadian people. This is what a Canadian man is saying, what he experienced when he went back to Canada. And also I have other videos of other foreigners sharing their experiences living in Ghana and visiting Ghana. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. You don't lose anything by liking, so just give the video a thumbs up. Let's go into the video.
You experienced this kind of love and togetherness, here in Ghana. When you went back, did it play a role in any way?
It played a role in every way.
Okay.
Because I brought the intention to bring that. I had the intention to bring that with me. So everything was trying to create this. And I failed over and over again.
Whoa.
Oh, absolutely. That was the challenge of coming home. Let me contextualize it in a story.
Right.
When I was spending time in Cheshire, let's say it would take me 10 minutes to physically walk from one side of the Cheshire to the other. Okay. But it wouldn't ever take 10 minutes. It would take 30 minutes or longer, because the reality is that people are most important. So you greet people, you ask people, how's your morning? How was your sleep? How are your children? Right? And wish them the best in their days. So if you do that, it takes you longer to go across town. I loved this. All these greetings. In Canada, we don't do this. You don't walk by just anyone and talk. So to contextualize this, I think that's one of the beauties of what happened here in Ghana for me. To contextualize it, I went home and I tried to replicate this. And so I remember one particular evening, I was walking with a few friends and I said hello to a few women, and there was a guy with them who got really angry.
Whoa.
And I hate to say it, but assaulted me. He pulled me down from behind. He kicked me in the head. He broke my orbit in my eye.
That's crazy.
I blacked out, and I was taken by ambulance to the hospital. So what was beautiful here was dangerous there. Now, this is an alarming story. This is not the breadth of Canada. I don't want to misrepresent Canada.
Yeah.
But it does speak of the cultural divide that exists, and also my intention to bridge that.
Right.
I want a world where we can engage people. Yeah. I love how Ghanaians, the first word I heard coming to your country, Akwaba.
Yeah.
It was the security guard at the airport.
Okay. Even back in 1996.
Yes. First thing that was said to me as I land on your soil, Akwaba. I wish in Canada we had 1/10 of the welcome that you have in Ghana. So that's part of my intent. That's part of who I became, is to try to recreate that in Canada. You spoke about some people dying alone. Yeah. In fact, my work in some ways in Canada became around people experiencing homelessness, people who are discarded and forgotten and can die alone. And I wanted to change that. And look, I don't know how much of an impact I've had in my life, but I know the intent that I bring. Yeah. And that gives me peace. That allows me to, I know it might sound weird, but that allows me to love who I am. And that's a gift.
Originally, you from Ghana?
Yeah, I'm first-gen immigrant. I mean, I was born in Atlanta, Grady baby, but you know, my parents are from Ghana, and like I was raised in Atlanta and there, kind of back and forth. But my formative years were here.
What's some of the misconceptions? I haven't been to Africa yet, but
why?
And because I'm one of the people that deal with some of the misconceptions. I've been waiting to get you here so I can ask some questions, because you know you hear about you got to take all the shots and you go get robbed and people scamming and all of this. Tell me about some of the misconceptions that people don't understand about traveling to Africa.
One, first of all, let me just say the CIA is winning, like incredibly, because like.
Yeah.
We can't listen to anything the news says. I think that's the point of, again, just you being who you are, right? If you are going off of what you want to do and what you love, I think that like following that is just the first step. But the misconceptions about Africa, I think, where it's just like it's all terrible. There's nothing but poverty. I mean, you know, I'm not Nigerian, but you know, Nigeria probably holds the most black billionaires in the world, right? If you go to South Africa, it's more developed than like Atlanta, to be honest.
Yeah, you should go to South Africa.
You know what I'm
first.
saying? Like outside of that, though, just like culturally, I just think that there's something about energy. You know how you feel when you're getting off a plane when you land in Miami. Do you like Miami?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's just that.
Who don't like Miami?
Some people don't like Miami.
Yeah, some people don't.
But it's just an energy, right? And like it's something about when you get over there and like by that equator over there, it's just like it's an energy source that makes you feel like you're home.
Yeah.
And it is like cool.
I've been told if you want to go to Africa and hang out, you go south. But if you really want to know about your roots and your heritage, you go east to really get that experience.
I thought you were East African forever.
You ain't the only one. Man, when I played in Toronto, dog, they got a big Somali community out there, and you couldn't tell them people that I wasn't one of them. I had some kids walk up to me in a gas station. It was a gas station walking distance from my house. And I walked in and it looked like they wanted to do some dirty shit to me, like pause. It looked like they wanted to have a problem.
Right.
Hey, yo.
Right? Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you. Jeez.
It looked like they wanted to have a problem with me, and then it kind of registered to them. And the kid walked up to me, he said, "Hey, you Somali. You safe in this city. I'd kill somebody about you." And I said, "Brother, that's a little far." That is a little far. That is a little far. But that let me know if I probably wasn't who I was, I might have been the victim.
Was they showing up the games with the flags?
Hell yeah. Listen, it's the thing. Watch how viral this go. Just me talking about it.
That's what I was saying. Like, she should have claimed it. Double down. That's a whole community.
We might get more subscribers. Subscribe.
As I prepare for my trip to Africa, I've been looking at my grass, and I know that I have to cut it immediately, because if I don't here in the United States, if I don't get it to a certain specification, I will receive a warning and a fine of 400 CDs. And then still, if I refuse to cut it, they will come cut it themselves, and it will be 1,000 CDs. All right. So here you get freedom, but freedom comes with consequences and stipulations. Whereas if you are in Africa, it isn't that restricted and rigorous. Okay. So what you see on television versus what I have to actually do, or what people here actually have to do, is something totally different oftentimes. And if you look around in my neighborhood, all the houses have to be of a similar size, or there is a violation. Okay, so no one gets to choose no one gets to live in where they want to live if the house has a restriction on it. There's what they call neighborhood restrictions. So once again, you're not totally free. You can't build a tiny house next to a big house here. It's not going to happen. So as I prepare to go to Ghana, I have to make sure that everything is up to code and specifically the way someone else wants it, even though this is my home. It doesn't matter, okay? There, what is yours is yours. Here, what is yours also belongs to the government.
Bro, when I went to Ghana, that was the first time I felt like just a black man.
Yeah.
I'm not a black man who's a threat. I'm not a black man that is ghetto because he's wearing a do-rag.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a black man that's uneducated.
Yep.
I'm not a black man that's trying to rob you.
Yep.
I'm just a black man.
Yeah.
That was the first time in my life that I literally walked outside in society and I felt no pressure to try and conform to what I think people's perceptions of me are.
Right.
And I think we carry that weight so often that we don't realize how heavy it is until we don't have to carry it anymore, bro.
Man.
One culture shock that I've experienced in Ghana is, in such an amazing way by the way, is the fact that people be selling stuff on the street, cars be passing by, and whenever there's a red light and the car stop, people be coming with stuff on top of their head and be selling whatever, like either it's like water bottles, food, even accessories for the car. And I feel like that's so like such an entrepreneurial mindset. Not even entrepreneurial, like just respect the hustle, to be honest. It adds culture to the country, if that makes sense. In Western countries, what I hate the most is there's no culture anymore. Every time that a country gets developed, they loses a sense of their identity. There's no more local market where you can get fresh fruits or mango or even stall outside just across the street or whatever. And even if you can, usually it's so overpriced. Countries that keep that identity, I respect them so much. So one thing is the people that passes by and like have big stuff on top of their head and just be walking around and like selling that. I'm always so impressed when I see it.
All right, y'all. So I got a question this is for my Ghanaians born and raised in Ghana. I got a question for y'all. So there was a time I was in Oxford Street, right, in Osu. And I saw this white guy talking to this guy that was selling these bracelets. You know how they sell the Ghana bracelets, you know, around that area. So like they were talking for a while. And, you know, I was with some of my friends. So like I passed by the guy again. I saw my friends were around him. After the white guy left or whatever, I guess he had bought one of the bracelets. This guy that's selling literally told us that he sold one of those bracelets to the white man for $20, bro. Not 20 Ghana cedis, $20 US, bro. He sold this man one bracelet, right? My question for Ghanaians, right, is how do y'all feel like, I've seen this happen so many times. Do y'all feel some sort of way like it's okay to scam the white man versus scamming somebody like me that came from the US, but I'm black. I'm a black American versus, you know, somebody that's come over here and they're white and, you know, like maybe or maybe not giving colonizer energy. I don't know. But it's like, I don't know if that same thing would have happened to me. Well, I've been in Ghana for a while, but still, like, I wouldn't. $20, bro? Like, $20 is crazy. So I'm just like, I just want to ask for my fellow Ghanaians if y'all feel like white people deserve that type of thing done to them, or you just feel like, well, the guy was just taking advantage of the situation and he would have did the same thing to somebody that was black. I don't know. It's just a question. I just got questions, bro.
So Ghanaians, I'm Ugandan, and these are the 5 things that I used to think about you, or that I used to believe about you. I'll call them misconceptions before I met one of you. Number 1, I used to think that all of you Ghanaians can dance. I mean, from music videos, you would see Ghanaians. Social media, you would see Ghanaian groups dancing. You know, everywhere, traditional dances, even, you know, the modern dances, the azonto, I would see so many Ghanaian dances everywhere. So I used to think, I remember me, you know, one day asking myself whether there is any Ghanaian who actually can dance. Until I met one. One who actually can't dance. He can't dance. So this one proved me wrong. He let me know that it's actually a misconception. That, yeah, maybe there's some, but I think the majority of you guys can dance. I think so. Number 2, I thought you were all made tall and dark. The Ghanaians I had met before were all tall and, oh gosh, they really had rich melanin. You know the thing of tall, dark, and handsome? Those were the Ghanaian men that I had, like, seen, you know. Until I met him, and he's nowhere close to darkness. He's fair, in other words. And then I was like, oh, so they even make fair ones. And actually, the fair one isn't bad at all. Okay. So yeah, I know Africa is diverse. We have all skin tones, all heights, all we have it all. But I used to think that the majority of you are tall and dark. It could still be right? So tell me, is it a misconception or most of you are tall and dark? Yeah. Number 3, ladies, come closer. This is for you. Have I ever, I think till date, I don't think this is a misconception. So, for me, I'll still say I call Ghana a big nyash nation. I mean, don't get me wrong, I usually see people everywhere, social media and all that, saying, oh, Ugandans, South Africans, like calling us when, they're talking about big nyash. But guys, if you leave out Ghana, then the list is incomplete. Ghanaians are also very part of the list, if not being the front of the list. I mean, I've never seen one who doesn't. I mean, look at all these famous ladies. I don't know whether they're celebrities or famous. The Fantanas, my favorite musician, Wendy Shay, after Shatawali, yeah. Efiedo, yeah. So even the slim ones, you still see that. Next one, which is actually very funny, very, very funny. I used to think you and Nigerians are cousins. I just still think, yeah. By the way, you won't believe, it's not so long ago when I discovered that Nigeria and Ghana don't share a border. I didn't know that there was Togo in between, there was Benin in between, I thought it's Nigeria and Ghana. Like, please don't call out my geography, what, no, please don't. Yeah, it's just because of the similarities that you guys have. I mean, similarities in terms of music. So every time I had an Afrobeat song, I mean, it's not that every time I thought it's a Nigerian song, but most of the times I would give Ghanaian music to Nigerians, like this one. I used to think this song, which has been my favorite ever since I started hearing Afrobeat. I don't know that it's Afrobeat or dancehall, but this has been my favorite for so long. Okay, and I used to think it's a Nigerian song until I met him and he told me, no, Maya, this is a Ghanaian song. I'm like, wait, because they play it so much in Uganda, so much everywhere, you'll find it everywhere. I mean, yeah, back then when I still lived in Uganda, you would find it in clubs, you would find it everywhere playing. This is the song. Listen to it.
All the side tunes that we play, and they know my baby give me them. Anything I do, she give me them. I dey thank God Almighty. Every day she sugar mighty. My baby, baby, better. Boom, boom, baby, better. Boom, baby, madam,
straight up.
Baby, that bum, 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 bum. Baby, better.
I love that song. It never fades. It never gets old. I love the song. Joy B and Magnum, that is a hit. That was a hit. That's still a hit. That's a song. Really. So they used to play it everywhere in Uganda. I think they still play it. And I used to think it's a Nigerian song. I didn't know that it was Ghanaian. So it's number 5, which is my most, I still think this one passes today. This is, I don't think this is a misconception. This is true. Ghana produces the best footballers. I mean, okay, let me rephrase. Okay? The best footballers in Africa come from Ghana. I'll still rephrase because I don't want to put down my other African, my other African mates, my other Africans, I don't want to put them down. It produces the most footballers. I don't know, please help me rephrase it, but you know what I'm talking about. Because number 1, now we're not going to talk about how good, the Black Stars is right now or how it has been and stuff like that, but for me, speaking from experience, even my first World Cup in 2020, I mean, my first physical World Cup, I've always been watching World Cup, but my first physical World Cup, which happened in 2022 in Qatar, Ghana was one of the few African countries that represented us as a continent. So for me, I will always think when it comes to African football, Ghana still carries that legacy for us. It is still one of our, I could be wrong. Let me know in the comment section what you think are misconceptions and are not true, and what you think are true. Yeah, because I think some of them should be true. Football should be true. Nyash should be true. I don't think these are misconceptions. That tall and dark, is it a misconception? Everyone can dance, is it a misconception? Tell me about it. You guys being Nigerians. Okay, so for you guys being Nigerians, cousins or brothers, maybe now I feel like it's not so true, because now that I've stayed very close to Ghanaians, and I also got a chance to experience Nigerians as well, so I now see the difference in intonation, difference in, I'm not going to say aggressiveness, but difference in, I don't know, use of energy. How can I politely put this? But I can see the difference, really. Yeah, but back then I used to think, you guys are the same. Anyway, bye.
You see, this is something that I think, I don't know how to describe it, but just being nice to people, just being nice. You know the way Ghana or Ghanaians are. Ghanaians are just nice. And he came here, he learned that and decided to take it back to Canada. And just look at what happened to him. That's crazy. That is crazy. And this Ugandan lady that is talking about the misconceptions or what she thought Ghanaians were, but when she came here or she began meeting Ghanaians, she saw that no, many of these things were different. It's true. Like when it comes to the Nyash, for instance, that one I think many Africans even know about this, about Ghana, because Nigerians have been saying this all the time. Ghanaian girls, Ghanaian girls, Ghanaian girls, the big Nyash and all that. It's something that you hear all the time. And this American man that is talking about his green grass, that's his lawn, he needs to weed it before coming to Ghana, because if not, they are going to be charging him and all that. In Ghana, somebody can just leave their lawn. It will grow. Nobody, no government is going to, on his own will, he will decide to either weed it or not. Charlie. Yeah, I all the time say we have freedom, Ghana. Kai, we have freedom. The freedom here, I think it actually cuts across Africa. We have freedom. The freedom we have. Thank you so much for watching.